What's up, my Central Unit? It's the Central Man here, so back again with another classic WWE pay-per-view review. So this time, going to review WWE Vengeance 2011 at the AT&T Center in San Antonio, Texas on the 23rd of October 2011. The attendance for the show was 8,000. This show received about 121,000 pay-per-view buys, a downgrade than the previous year's pay-per-view that was the final bragging rights in WWE history. That show received about 137,000 pay-per-view buys. It has to do between 2009, 2010, and 2011. They ended up doing 2 pay-per-views in 1 month. They've been doing it right now to this day. WWE doing 2 pay-per-views in 1 month. Wow, you know, it's this point that people just do not like pay-per-views in WWE. It has to do with too many pay-per-views. Like 18, 20 pay-per-views. Jesus Christ, stick to the 12. AEW is doing 4 pay-per-views in 1 year. That's way better than doing 12, or not 12, but 14, 16. You get my drift. But anyway, Michael Cole, Jerry the King Lawler, and Booker T on commentary. So this is the first Vengeance pay-per-view since 2007. You know, the Vengeance Night of Champions show. It was the show when Chris Benoit did the double murder suicide thing. And also this was the last Vengeance until 2011. You know, WWE brought Vengeance back for a takeover show for NXT. You know, NXT Takeover Vengeance Day. They could bring it back in the future because WWE for recent years brought back Backlash and No Mercy. They could bring back Vengeance, not Vengeance Day, just Vengeance. You know, I don't understand why they called the I'm talking about this year. Why they call it Vengeance Day? I think they missed the point. Just call it St. Valentine's Day Massacre. We haven't. It's the first time since '99. But anyway, so yeah, it's the first Vengeance for almost 4 years, and the last one for almost a decade until they brought it back for a takeover show. You know, I covered NXT Takeover Vengeance Day. Go and check it out. You know. Anyway, so what's going on? It's been a few weeks since I reviewed WWE Hell in a Cell 2011. So after the main event, you know, the triple threat Hell in a Cell match between John Cena, CM Punk, and Alberto Del Rio, Miz and Truth, Austin Truth, came down, attacked Cena, Punk, and Del Rio. They got arrested. Triple H beat the fuck out of Austin Truth. And the buzzword of 2011 is conspiracy. You know, it's chaos and conspiracy, referees, the officials getting attacked. But the next night at Raw, I think it was the next night at Raw, you know, the whole entire roster did the walkout the next night on Raw. I thought that was real. You know, that was, I don't understand the storyline. You know, Vince, you know, relieved Triple H of his duties of running Monday Night Raw. Because early, you know, in the summer, Triple H relieved Vince of his duties. It's kind of like the roles has been reversed. So, you know, Vince gives the power to John Laurinaitis. You know, at the time he was the VP of Talent Relations and temporary Raw GM, and he became the permanent Raw GM after WrestleMania 28. So this is the first pay-per-view under the John Laurinaitis era, and for Raw and SmackDown. But it was at the time he was running Raw, and then after WrestleMania he was running both Raw and SmackDown. Because at this moment in time there was no brand split. You know, the brand split ended. You know, I think it was ended in the summer. So yeah, Jesus Christ, John Laurinaitis, man. My name is Mr. John Laurinaitis. I am the Vice President of Talent Relations and the Interim General Manager of Raw. Jesus fucking Christ, man. You know, throughout the whole of throughout the rest of 2011 to go into the first half of 2012. Fucking hell. And by the way, John Laurinaitis is the stepfathers of the Bellas. You know, I watched a little bit of Total Bellas, man. Jesus Christ, man. Anyway, so yeah, first pay-per-view under the John Laurinaitis era in WWE. So, and conspiracy. That's the buzzword of 2011's WWE. Anyway, so the dark match, you had Wade Barrett defeat Daniel Bryan. Very weak for Bryan because you're building up, because at the time Daniel Bryan is the SmackDown Money in the Bank holder. See, losing to Barrett, it was just like, really? And at the time, Barrett was not really doing anything at the time. Anyway, so I burped. So the first match to kick off the show, this is for the WWE Tag Team Championships. Air Boom, that is Evan Bourne and Kofi Kingston, defending the belts against Jack Swagger and Dolph Ziggler, with Vicky Guerrero in both Jack Swagger and Dolph Ziggler's corner. It's funny that Jake Hager and Vicky Guerrero now in AEW. This is the rematch from Hell in a Cell, and this was good. A really good, I like the Hell in a Cell match a little bit bad, but this was a really good match to kick off the show. Not really good match, but a good match. I'm trying to say, but anyway, in the end, Dolph, I think Evan Bourne got the victory. Hit the I think it was the air boom. Yeah, hit the air boom onto Ziggler. Air boom. Hit the air boom on Ziggler for the victory. Yeah, it's basically speed over strength because Swagger's the strength guy, Ziggler's an athletic guy, and both Kofi and Bourne are the high flyers. So the next match is for the United States Championship, and Dolph Ziggler is doing double duty on the show. Yeah, Dolph Ziggler defending the United States title against Zack Ryder. You got Air Boom got kicked out from ringside. He was trying to help Zack Ryder win. It was an okay match. It wasn't bad, but I think the TLC match was a bit better. Anyway, it was an okay match for what it is. In the end, some distractions with Vicky and Swagger. Ziggler hit the super kick for the win. I think it's the first time Ziggler hits the super kick. He was never doing super kicks. He's doing super kicks right now, but back then he was not. I think his two main finishes are the sleeper and the zigzag. I think he hit the famouser. It's basically Billy Gunn's leg drop, but besides that, he was never doing super kicks in 2011. So it was kind of like surprising. It didn't really hurt Zack Ryder because Ryder was gaining some momentum after the whole. He's doing the whole Z True Long Island Stories show on YouTube. It's still on YouTube to this day. I kind of liked it. He's gaining more momentum. I'll talk about his match, the rematch at TLC in December. So it was okay. It felt like a match on Monday Night Raw. So the next match is for the Divas Championship. We've got Beth Phoenix defending the belt against Eve Torres. Both Kelly and Natalya are banned from ringside. Basically had Beth basically picked up Kelly and slammed her towards a wall. Because Beth is strong. We'll get to her a little bit shortly. And then you got, I think some fight between Kelly and I don't know why Kelly and Natalya got banned. Because it's Beth who grabbing Kelly for the first place. I simply don't get it. Anyway, the crowd did not really give a crap. I'm gonna be honest, the match was decent. It was a decent, good match between both two good workers. Eve is very underrated, in my opinion, because Eve does a lot of jiu-jitsu training. She put a lot of jiu-jitsu training in her wrestling. That's the reason why she's very underrated. I could see her coming back one day, because she's still in good shape. Beth is superly strong. Like I said, she kind of picked up Kelly and slammed her against the wall. Fuck Nia Jax, she's not that strong, and Nikki Bella, man, that's, people overrate that, but I think Beth is the strongest because, she's like, one more match, she kind of picked up Eve, did a gorilla press her onto the barricade. She is superly strong. Anyway, so, it was a good match. Like I said, the crowd did not really give a damn about it, but, I think Eve kind of held her own. In the end, Beth hit the glam slam, for the win. So it makes sense because Beth just won the belt at Hell in a Cell a couple of weeks ago. Makes no sense to drop it at the following month. Actually, not 4 months, but 4 weeks pay-per-view. Man, Jesus Christ. Like I said, 2 pay-per-views in 1 month. Holy crap. But, moving on to the next match. The next match we got Sheamus versus Christian. This is also a rematch from Hell in a Cell. Still continue their rivalry, I think it's like I think the SmackDown in Mexico, Sheamus won a tag team match against Christian and his tag team. Yeah, Christian Spick, Sheamus, to set up the rematch on the show. Still feuding. I think they end up fighting, you know, backstage, costing each other matches. I think he lost a match against Del Rio. This is a year before their feud, so it's just what it is. So anyway, the match between Christian and Sheamus, it was decent. I like their Hell in a Cell match a little bit better. So yeah, it was a decent, good match. It's more between, it was 75% Sheamus, 35% Christian, because Sheamus got more to the offense than Christian. I'm talking about Sheamus. I think Sheamus kicked out of the spear by Christian. I don't like Christian. I don't know why Christian's doing the spear at this moment in time, because Edge just came back. I understand why Christian would start doing the spear, because Edge retired and was doing it for the tribute, but he's been doing it like the final few years of his second run in the company, and he did it at AEW All Out against Kenny Omega. Christian's spear looks shit, man. I don't hate on Christian, but he just does like the knees down, like same as Charlotte does, you know, do like Edge. He doesn't do, you know, he's one of the best spears. Best wrestler to perform the spear. Him, Goldberg, Roman Reigns, it's debatable, and Bobby Lashley. Anyway, so the match, yeah, like I said, the match was good. Yeah, spear. I think he kicked out from the spear. Anyway, I think it's the first time Sheamus hit the white noise, because they dubbed Sheamus as the Great White. I'm not going to get into his nickname. Sorry. So in the end, yeah, Christian was going for the spear, but instead Sheamus counted into the bro kick for the win. Yeah, it's a shame how they did Christian dirty in this feud with Sheamus. You know, this is Super Cena-esque. You know, winning 2 pay-per-view matches all together in a row. You know, he won the first match at Hell in a Cell. He won the second match on the show. I think he won some matches on Raw and SmackDown. It's just so not believable. But this was Christian's last pay-per-view appearance, because he got hurt. Because he was supposed to be in the Survivor Series match the following month at Survivor Series. Unfortunately, he took like that nasty chokeslam by the Big Show. Then he suffered a leg injury by Sheamus. And then you won't see him again until Elimination Chamber of 2012. Because at the time, I think Christian was not really doing anything. I think when the brand split ends, I think they're starting to give up on not Sheamus. They're building up Sheamus, but you can tell they're slowly giving up on Christian, because Christian throughout the spring, really in the spring and the summer of 2011, he kind of carried the blue brand of SmackDown. You know, in that feud with Randy Orton, and then he was not really doing anything. You know, if Christian was not really got hurt, I think he'd probably be in that TLC match with CM Punk, Del Rio, Miz. You know, that'd be really good, because Christian has experience in TLC matches. You know, going back watch his TLC matches in the Attitude Era. I think after that he will not really do anything. I think taking a break was a blessing in disguise. Tony Basis was really good for him, because he was getting stale as a heel. So let's move on. So moving on to the next match. The next match. This is a tag team match. This is a non-tag team match of the night, because the first one's for the WWE Tag Team Championships. We got Awesome Truth, that is The Miz and R-Truth, taking on CM Punk and Triple H. This was boring. Yeah, it's all about chaos, you know, for R-Truth and Miz, causing havoc. It's just what it is, you know, but the match was boring. It was the first time was fine, but I was completely bored. They were doing a lot of rest holds. It was 15 fucking minutes, man. 15 minutes. I feel like it was 20 minutes, but I was completely bored, out of my mind. In the end, you had Kevin Nash came out of nowhere, hit Triple H. Why is it not a DQ? Beats me. In the end, R-Truth, like, they hit like a skull-crushing finale, and a little Jimmy onto Punk, and Miz pins Punk for the win. So, yep, second straight pay-per-view, actually third straight pay-per-view in a row, Punk takes an L. I don't get it, man. It's what a downhill for CM Punk. You know, ever since he cut the pipe bomb promo in June, won the WWE title in July, retained the WWE title, become the undisputed WWE champion, and dropped the belt to Del Rio on the same night at SummerSlam. He ended up losing to Triple H at Night of Champions. He lost the triple threat Hell in a Cell match at Hell in a Cell. Now they lost the tag team match against Awesome Truth on this show. It's just like, you know, I'll get to Survivor Series next month, so No, that is it. Anyway, it's nothing. It's just like Miz and Truth. Sorry, I'm stumbling, but Miz and Truth. What's it's all about? What they game out? Because they end up losing to John Cena and The Rock at Survivor Series. So what's really the point? Jesus Christ! And also, it's just set up 2 fucking matches at the next 2 pay-per-views. You know, it set up Austin Truth versus John Cena and The Rock. And Kevin Nash set up his match with Triple H in that sledgehammer ladder match at TLC. Because the next night on Raw, they ran out Triple H. He got attacked by Triple H. Not Triple H. Kevin Nash with the sledgehammer to set up like I said, the sledgehammer ladder match at TLC. So what's really the point, the end game of this? So moving on to the next match. The next match, we got Randy Orton taking on Cody Rhodes. It started last month in September. They had a match on SmackDown. Orton attacked. Basically, Cody hit Orton in the face with his mask, and then Orton got pissed off. Hit Cody Rhodes with the bell. He suffered 9 stitches. And also Cody cost Randy Orton the world title opportunity against Mark Henry. So that was the build up to it. It's not their fault. It's just like 2 pay-per-views in the span of 2 weeks. It's what it is. But anyway, so the match was decent. A decent, good match. Back and forth. The finish really grinds my gears a bit. So you had Cody's bagsman trying to interfere. Cody hit the crossroads. Orton kicked out. That should be the finish. And also, he never got a win over Randy Orton. I simply don't get it. In the end, Orton hit the RKO onto Cody for the win. So if I was booking it, I'd rather have Cody getting the victory over Orton. And this has probably set up the no DQ match on SmackDown the following week. And that was better. It was decent, but I think the no DQ match on SmackDown was a bit better. Orton really won the second match of the feud and take Cody Rhodes' mask off. And this was the end of Undashing Cody Rhodes. So let's talk about Undashing Cody Rhodes. I'm not going to ramble a lot, but I think it's a bit better than the Stardust gimmick years later, because it's just mimicking his brother's gimmick. But Cody, I used this phrase guinea pig wrestler because they put Cody in these daft gimmicks to get him over, like Dashing Cody Rhodes. This was after Legacy broke up. Dashing Cody Rhodes, Undashing Cody Rhodes. Yeah, teaming up with Damien Sandow to form Team Rhodes Scholars, doing the mustache gimmick, and then with the Stardust gimmick. I think with the Undashing Cody Rhodes, I think it's the best out of the 3, I think. I don't know about... the Dashing Cody Rhodes gimmick was fine, but Stardust was pulverizing, but it got some of the... some cross connection. People really got behind it a bit. Like great example there, Cody's match with DiBiase and Night of Champions. You can see fans were wearing paper bags over their heads. But I'm not saying it's over like gangbusters, but it's just what it is. He made it work. Yeah, and then on Raw he ended up ditching that gimmick. He came out with new theme music, and then he became just plain old Cody Rhodes. And also the Intercontinental title is not on the line, so it's just what it is. I don't see Orton winning the IC title. That'd be fucking stupid. Having Cody holding that belt for what he won in August and dropping it in October, almost 2 months. That's goddamn stupid. So moving on to the next match. The next match, this is for the World Heavyweight Championship. We got Mark Henry defending the world title against the Big Show. So they've been feuding since the summer. You had Mark Henry attacking the Big Show. Then at Money in the Bank, Mark Henry beat the Big Show and broke his tibia in the process. So for weeks now, Big Show was beating up Mark Henry, using the WMD, the knockout punch, on SmackDown to build up their match on this show. I'm gonna be honest, I like their Money in the Bank match a bit better than this. It wasn't a 4-star classic, but it was a shorter match because Mark Henry dominated the Big Show. This match at Vengeance, boring. Completely boring. I was completely really zoned out of this match. Basically, I had Mark Henry trying to work on the leg of the Big Show. The leg that Mark Henry injured. Because at the time Mark Henry was doing the Hall of Pain gimmick. Inducted Big Show into the Hall of Pain. So he trying to work on the leg. You know, it was okay with the big guy moves, but afterwards it was getting a little boring and not that good. People, I think they kind of gave a shit, but you can tell they're kind of quiet in this match. So in the end, you had a suplex spot. Basically, you had Mark Henry suplex the Big Show off the top rope. The ring collapse, and that was a holy shit moment. This is the first time since they did it in 2003 with Big Show and Brock Lesnar. I think they didn't really reference it at the time because at the time Brock left the company on very bad terms. Yeah, he came back the following year in 2012, but back then, back in 2011, they never talk about Brock Lesnar. Yeah, Punk name dropped him, but they never mentioned Brock Lesnar because he was still fighting in the UFC. He had his final fight in November, then he went back to the WWE in the spring of 2012. Anyway, you had John Laurinaitis, Teddy Long, referees and officials trying to help both Big Show and Mark Henry. Mark Henry's refusing. I think he's not pushing down the referees. I think he said, "Get the hell off me," something like that. So, and Laurinaitis came out, basically says, giving the fans what they want. Says the WWE title match is going ahead. So, and he got booed. John Laurinaitis, man, that dude has no personality and charisma, man. He's a shit wrestler. The Dude Busters, with Shane Douglas in WCW sucked. I don't know. I don't follow John Laurinaitis' work, but as an authority figure, Jesus Christ, he's the worst authority figure I ever saw. With Elizabeth Bischoff is, compare him and Bischoff. Elizabeth Bischoff, he's got more personality and charisma. So moving on to the main event. The main event is a last man standing match for the WWE Championship. Alberto Del Rio taking on John Cena. Del Rio defeated John Cena and CM Punk in the Triple Threat Hell in a Cell match a couple weeks back. So, and Cena, I think the last man standing match was basically added to the last minute. Decent match. People really overhyped this match, but I'm gonna be honest, the match, it wasn't sucked. It was good, but too much fucking interference. With Del Rio's personal ring announcer Ricardo Rodriguez. It's funny. There was one funny spot. Before that, you had Cena. This is the first pay-per-view appearance where Cena came out wearing the Rise Above the Hate gear. The camouflage shorts and the black T-shirt says Rise Above the Hate. It's a funny part that he was standing next to a fan wearing an anti-John Cena T-shirt. Says we hate Cena. He looks at the T-shirt and look at the black guy. He left. I think he got a mixed bag. Yeah, he got really a mixed reaction, but this is what it is. So, like I said, too much interference by Ricardo Rodriguez. Granted, he was trying to help Del Rio win this match. The one funny spot you had, Cena kind of slammed Ricardo onto the ring post, and then Del Rio trying to go after Cena. He kind of collided onto the ring post when Ricardo in it. He went balls first. That was a funny spot. They took it outside the ring. They were fighting mostly in the ring, but they took it outside. They took it backstage. Cena went through the Vengeance set, and then Del Rio was climbing on top of the Vengeance set, and Cena kind of thrown him onto the table. Yeah, it was starting to be good. Then, like I said, too much interference, and then Awesome Truth came out, attacked John Cena. This was after he AA'd Del Rio through an announce table, and then Awesome Truth, Miz and Truth beating down John Cena, and Del Rio hit Cena with the WWE title to win this match, and he retained the title. I don't know, it's just setting up the Survivor Series match between Awesome Truth versus John Cena and The Rock. So what's really the point? So I'll get to Survivor Series a couple months time. So anyway, so my final rating for Vengeance 2011, I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10. This was, out of the 3 shows between, Night of Champions and this show, I think I think it's the weakest, man. Actually, I put Night of Champions the weakest. Hell in a Cell was a bit stronger show out of the 3. Yeah, I put it in the middle. So the only bad match on the show has to be Mark Henry Big Show. Besides that, some of these matches were okay, like the United States title match. The tag team title match was okay. Yeah, it was disappointed. But besides that, there were decent matches, but it doesn't make me go, wow, I need to go back to watch Vengeance again. No, they're just decent matches, like the Tag Team title match, the Divas title match, in my opinion. Sheamus versus Christian, Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes, and the last man standing match between Del Rio and John Cena. I don't really like their feud between 2011 to 2013. I think it's just underwhelming, and there's no chemistry between John Cena and Alberto Del Rio. It's just my opinion. People have their opinions, but for me, I just like it's underwhelming. So anyway, so I hope you enjoyed my review of WWE Vengeance 2011. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Smash the like button. Click the like. Subscribe to the Central Man Network on YouTube. Be part of the Central Unit for more wrestling videos and more. Next time in the WWE Classic pay-per-view review segment. So next month, November, it's Survivor Series season. So I'm trying to get away from the 2000s WWE pay-per-views. I've been reviewing throughout September and October, sorry, because the last non-2000s, slash PG WWE PG era pay-per-view was One Night Only 97. So let's move to the 90s, to the early 90s. So last year I reviewed WWF Survivor Series 1990. That was the show when The Undertaker made his debut. So let's fast forward 1 year into the year of 1991 when he's feuding against the biggest star of the WWF at the time, Hulk Hogan, for the World Wrestling Federation Championship. I'm talking about Survivor Series 1991. This is Essential Man Official signing out, and that's my review of Vengeance 2011. It wasn't a bad show, wasn't perfect. This was a thumbs of the middle show.